Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and all praises due to Allah Almighty. Hello dear brothers and sisters. Because of the anniversary of the Islamic Revolution, that had founded in 1979 by the Imam Khamenei, peace be upon him, around, for example, 43 years ago, by the people, by the Iranian people. Yes, today they say the role of Islamic Revolution in world view is very, very clear. The role of Islamic Revolution in all segments, not especially the cyberspace. For example, in economics segment, economic concept, for example, in progressive in science, in different important science, you know that the role of the Iranian people and not different between women. There is a numerous philosophers talking about the English, they're talking about the Islamic Revolution and the role of Islamic Revolution, yes? Now, and you know the Michel Foucault, a French philosopher, at this time is talking about the role of Islamic Revolution in that time. But you know that another philosophers are talking now. I understand directly some of the important them about the Islamic Revolution. But now the important people can describe Islamic Revolution as our leader Ayatollah Khamenei. That is very, very, as an introduction, previation, you can find in 10 reasons for the Islamic Revolution. Why Islamic Revolution? Why the people? Why Iranian people in that time, in 1979, they founded Islamic Revolution? Yes, Ayatollah Khamenei, it mentioned for 10 reasons for an Islamic Revolution in that time. Yeah, this is important, brothers and sisters. If we saw this numerous progressive around the Islamic Revolution, and we close our eyes, this is for example, bad culture for Iranian people. You know that, alhamdulillah, mashallah, this is a very momentous and numerous progressive of the different segments about Islamic Revolution. Yes, we need to show and to understand more and more about some mention of Ayatollah Khamenei about why Iranian people in 1979, they, for example, they caused us to be making a big movement to take, for example, the Islamic Revolution. Why? You know that if you want to internet different segments, different people, different philosophers talking about English, and I live out them, and you find it, and you certainly find the reasons. You find the reasons. You will find in the internet there is numerous reasons for the Islamic Revolution. You find it of these people. But here I'm making for you 10 reasons for Islamic Revolution in the viewpoint of Imam Khamenei and Ayatollah Khamenei. You can very easy. You know that when you go out of this here holy place of this Musalla, some people walk in a street, in car, in different, for example, in LAs, in your house, asking of you why we are, for example, brother, because usually the people asking for this question, important question, are youth, are teenagers. They, for example, didn't in that time in the Islamic Revolution. For example, they say why the people in that time they entered the Islamic Revolution. Yes, it is better to understand of the Ayatollah Khamenei, the big people alive here of this time. Yes, you can find, inshallah, after this ceremony, this lecture, I will share this important PowerPoint. For the brothers, all of the brothers want to need this important PowerPoint. I will show sharing for this PowerPoint for them. This is my number, I beat your idea. First of all, you can find all of the magazines, all of the videos, all of the Islamic study in btid.org, and you find this code by the, if you, for example, they don't able to mention the, for example, type. If your type is vague, you can find by this code easily. You can directly mention for this important type. Now, So in this time, inshallah, I will mention the important reasons of Ayatollah Khamenei about the Islamic Revolution. Yes. Here, developing good morals. The first elements of the Islamic Revolution, the reason of Islamic Revolution is developing good morals in the tongue of Ayatollah Khamenei. Yes, brothers and sisters, if you come back to 1979, I now, in the street, in my route, especially in Tehran, teenagers, people, girls, women, men, they are, for example, some gracious people, they are smiling together. But if you come back to 1979, in Islamic Revolution, you should be saying the developing good moral in Islamic Revolution. Yes. The first reason for the Islamic Revolution is developing, as a tongue of the Ayatollah Khamenei, developing good morals and behaviors and peace and respect to family, respect to the neighborhood, respect to out of the country. Yes, we saw in that time the people, around the 30 million people, they want developing good morals. Yeah. First of all, the definition of morals is momentous. The definition of if you want, for example, I'm a morality people, not enough. It is better, first of all, if you want to be a morality people, should be changed, should be a correct interpretation of morality segments, morality concepts. Yes, the definition of moral and behavior as best correct development of moral definition is related to Islamic Revolution, related to Islamic viewpoint. Yes, maybe you can go another country, in Turkey, in US, in UK, in EU, or etc. It maybe you, for example, see the people, they are smiling you. They try to show you are, for example, themselves are morality people. Girls and boys touching their hand as a sign of morality people. Yes, this is a morality people now. But the important definition of developing moral is belong to Islamic Revolution that we founded in the war of this between Saddam and, for example, Iranian people in around the 1988. Yes, we saw the military of Iranian people, the best moral in that time. Yes, the first reason for Islamic Revolution is developing moral at the tongue of Ayatollah Khamenei. It is better that why this important issue, Imam Khomeini, peace be upon him, said, you know that you Iranian people, it is better you understand about it, this important, for example, about it. He said, our revolution was bombard of the light. Our revolution was bombard of the light. The best definition of Islamic Revolution was about Imam Khomeini that said, our revolution was the bombard of the light. This example is, or this comparative, this example and these morals and these, for example, parables is very, very important parables to definition Islamic Revolution. Definition Islamic Revolution. Our revolution was bombard of lights in different segments, in different concepts. Yes, this meaning, first of all, we make the Iranian people, for example, bring to the revolution not just for economic condition or economic circumstances or some etc. Yes, they making the revolution because of our, first of all, as a moral, as a good morals. Yes, very important. You know that Ayatollah Khamenei said, the first of all, we making the revolution because developing good moral. Let me, because of the time, as a rest for me, I'm the first my breast and my son. Let me say, for example, it's a statement here. Ayatollah Khamenei said, developing good morals was one of the values. Developing good morals was one of the values. People, he said, people wanted good morals and Islamic behavior to separate among them. He said, the one important reasons, some people now, Iranian people in that time, they enter in revolution, they rebellions, they, for example, strike because of economic. No, it's not correct. First of all, the important thing is for the morals. For the morals. Yeah. Another part, inshallah, after finishing the PowerPoint, I'm at your service to take up your questions. If you have questions, I'm at your service. The important the two elements, the Islamic Revolution, for the reason of Islamic Revolution is establishing a popular political system. Establishment of popular political system, one of the important things of two reasons for Islamic Revolution is establishment of popular political system. Where you can find like this system, where you can find like this spiritual system, where you can find like this spiritual and moral and popular system around the world. Where? In the US, and the EU, and the UK, where you can find this respectable revolution around the world, except those Iran. Except Iran. Yes. Where you can find without any commands of the leaders, the people, the martyrs, go into war without any commands. Where you can find, except Iranian people, except Iran. Be careful for you. Pay attention to your culture. Pay attention to your culture. I highly suggest save your culture. If you want here, establishment of popular political system. Yes, Ayatollah Khamenei designed the two reasons for Islamic Revolution as popular political system. If you go out US, if you go UK, if you go, for example, in other country around the world, they begging for you, for your money, for your cash. Yes, all of things. In UK, I have different people, different friends in UK. They shy because they can't, especially Iranian people and Persian people, they living now in UK. They shy of for example, their circumstances and the situation in UK because they shy. They shy because they don't have any money, enough money. Yes, they say when we go to here, when we come here, we make in our mind as a UK, as a US, as a paradise, as a haven. But when you come here, unfortunately, we go to hell. We go to hell. All in different and Western countries and European countries, the best thing is money, is cash. Yes, is against a popular political system. You know that the two reasons of the Islamic Revolution is establishment of popular political system. Let me read the important verse of Ayatollah Khamenei about here. With this Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Khamenei said about that, with this Islamic Revolution we have achieved the goal of establishing a popular political system, and there is no doubt at all, that the Islamic Republic is popular system. Yes, you know that where you can find the people manage, where you can find around the world, people manage the situation, the political system, where you can find. where you can find. If you go to US, if you go to UK, what the role of the people in the systems? No, absolutely no. No any role. But the Iranian people, around the 400 million people now living in US. Yes, just 1%. Just 1% in 9%. FVD1, 9%, just 1% in UK and US, just they, for example, the law to manage their system and their political system. And other people, it is better to go their work or pay attention to their work. Not absolutely. Yes, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the two reasons, the second reason of the Islamic Revolution was the establishment of political and a popular political system that Ayatollah Khamenei said about the Islamic Revolution. Yes. As a rest, excuse me. Another part is, another reason for the Islamic Revolution was overthrow of the aristocracy. Overthrow of the aristocracy, another part, another segment, another elements of the Islamic Revolution, overgrow the Pahlavi Shah as an aristocracy in that time. There's some people, for example, aristocracy, some fun, as my proverb is a fun people, they came to ruling of Islamic Revolution. Imam Khomeini and his partisans came here and overthrew the Pahlavi Shah, overthrew the aristocracy, overthrew in whole of the mind. Yes, at the time, Ayatollah Khamenei said the government's actions, which were indicative extravagance, aristocracy, and indulgence in popular people's money, prompted people to show their responsibility. Yes, not different between Shia and Sunni, not different between South and East, Eastern and West. All of the Iranian country came together and created big revolution around the world that will change the Muslims country, the Muslims people around the world. So this important revolution in that time. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. You know that after the Islamic Revolution, the position of Iran, and before of that, you know that the position of Iran. After the Islamic Revolution, the progressive, there is a magazines, numerous important magazines of the high, of the rank of Iranian people. Numerous of them is very in internet. You can find internet numerous statistics show that the progressive of Iranian now, yes, this clearly show that the position of Iran is very high. Yes, we are weak now, but inshallah, by step, constantly, by the movement, by the continue these important segments in this important way, we're successful. You know that if you come back to the story of Iran, Iranian people didn't create the car, didn't create it, for example, the missiles. You know, the first Iranian people now are the power of missiles that Russia, that another country needs to the power of Iranian people, the science of Iranian people. Yeah, what was the reason of this? Because the overthrow of aristocracy and come back the role of a spiritual issue against them. Yes, brothers and sisters. Imam Khamenei said, Iranian people, by their souls, by their decision, overthrow the aristocracy. You know that my father has died. My father has died, was one of the near of the Pahlavi Shah. Closely he definite for me as a memoir of the Pahlavi Shah. He mentioned me the biggest stories of the declining of aristocracy about the political system of the ocean of Pahlavi. Yes, they saw in that time the position of Iranian people, all of the country, all of the people in the nation in Iran was weak, without money. Yes, by the Islamic Revolution, by the activity of martyrs, by the martyrs of Shuhada in that time, created these lights, these flowers. You located in that. Yeah, this is the role of Islamic Revolution that created us. That Islamic Revolution, inshallah, will be continued by your effort, by your activity. Yes, brothers and sisters. Another reasons for the Islamic Revolution, for the created Islamic Revolution, was freedom. I request of the people, I humbly suggest for the girls, for the women, for the teenagers, for the higher school, just for one journey, go to America, go to US, show the freedom. Show the freedom that people are free or not. That people are free. All of them are surrounding in journey and political system and economic system. They are surround. Not different between, for example, east of UK, east of US, west of US, eastern of US, and all of segments. Yes. For example, one example, it is better to us, we can say they free or not. If you go to US, girls, after for some legal conditions, it may be go to work. You know that Iranian people, father in, for example, go to work, the family in work, the children in work, yes, the child in work, the one people as your father working for yourself, and night you gathering together by the work. Yes, but if you go to another country, all of the families is working for example, from 8 up to midnight. Yes, brothers and sisters, this is the meaning of freedom in US and UK and Western country. But if you want to meaning of freedom, certainly you are in it. The meaning of freedom here. The important things, I humbly suggest, where you can find teenagers making, for example, enter by the rebellion, enter by sabotage goals, sabotage or torture the people, for example, or another, or burn the bank streets, and after that, by the important pace of the Ayatollah Khamenei, all of them of the prison will be free. Yes, this is important things of the freedom. The meaning of freedom, Ayatollah Khamenei. Brothers and sisters, he said the meaning of freedom is different by the Western country in Iran. The meaning of freedom is different, huge difference, and for fluently different. He said, before the victory of Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Khamenei said, before the victory of the Islamic Revolution, there was no freedom of thought. There was no freedom of thought. Before the Islamic Revolution, there was no freedom of thought. Yes, if you found just one thing about your spiritual sawak, and another, as an organization of a sawak, they, for example, they call you, yeah, because of your thought. Every thought against their who you go to prison, you go to jail. There is a numerous people have killed. There is important people in that time have killed. You go, it is better you understanding more information about the one freedom. If you want Iranian people was free or not, it is better to go to jail. I understand one village between Tehran and Qom. that it may be the sea of salt. The sea of salt. Yes, that for example, you can better than me. You understood? Better than me. If you go by that, by helicopter, the US people of the sky, night, midnight, 3 days. Some of them are lying now. The people, some of them are lying now. Some are now by the helicopter. US people coming to the sea of salt. Coming to now. I write a magazine about these events and duration of Pahlavi. If the Iranian people were freedom at that time, just focus on these important events between Qom and Tehran. Between Qom and Tehran.